Hi, we're the Frost family. I'm Whitney. My husband Jason and I have 3 children. Our oldest is Natalie. She's 15. Our middle child is Riley. She is 6. And our youngest is our son Harrison, and he just turned 5. When they were born, there were no complications. We didn't know that anything was wrong, but Riley and Harrison have both been diagnosed with a rare terminal disease called infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy that has robbed them of all the abilities they used to have. They no longer walk, talk, or even eat on their own. So I'm going to show you how we got to this point. Riley was born in October of 2013, and Harrison was born in July of 2015. They're not twins, but I made a comparison with Riley always on the left and Harrison always on the right. This slide right here shows 11 months. It doesn't mean that they were 11 months at the same time, but it just tells you that this picture was taken when Riley was 11 months and also when Harrison was 11 months old. By 12 months of age, they were both meeting their milestones and seemed to be progressing normally, but Harrison was diagnosed at 11 months with INAD, so we already knew what we were dealing with, but we still had hope because he went farther than Riley did as far as developmentally. He laughed and sang and danced, and he was able to clap, which are things that Riley was unable to do. So even though he wasn't showing symptoms because of his diagnosis, we had him in physical therapy a lot sooner because we knew what we were dealing with. At 19 months is when Riley got her first pair of AFOs because she started to supinate, which means roll her feet inward and try to walk on the outside of her ankles. So we went to Shriners in Louisville and they gave her her first pair of AFOs to help with her ankles. However, she was still very determined to stand up no matter what. And so by 20 months, she was still able to pull to stand, but 20 months is the last time that Harrison was able to do so. At 21 months, Harrison got his first pair of braces. And at 23 months, Riley got her second pair. She was able to stand up with assistance. And Harrison, by this time, was needing to be in a gait trainer because he was losing the ability to sit up, and he was losing muscles in his core area, his trunk muscles. Riley did stop standing by this time, but as you can see here, Harrison is starting to lose his head control. So while Riley was able to sit up, Harrison was losing his balance. So at 27 months, Riley just needed to be in a bumbo seat to help with stability, while Harrison had already completely lost his ability to balance himself and was always falling over. Riley was able to sit up on her own, and Harrison relied on pillows and blankets to support him so that he wouldn't fall over. By 30 months, Riley was still able to stand with assistance some of the time, and Harrison was starting to completely lose his balance and his capabilities. By 32 months, Riley was still trying so hard to crawl, and Harrison was having a hard time just rolling over. At 33 months, that's when Riley was diagnosed. Harrison was 11 months, and by 34 months, Riley was still able to drink out of a straw, and Harrison had lost that ability a while ago. By 35 months, Riley was able to still sit up and enjoy playing with toys while Harrison was so floppy and he needed to be supported completely. Riley still had the strength to try and crawl with the help of equipment, but Harrison was unable to hold his head up. By 38 months old, they were both very similar in their physical capabilities. Riley stopped being able to drink through a straw and lost weight very quickly and needed emergency surgery to get a G-tube. This is also when Harrison received his Make-A-Wish trip. By 41 months, they were both unable to sit up on their own or support their own heads. And at 3.5 years, we realized Harrison was going to need a G-tube also. He had an NG tube for a month, and then at 43 months old, he got his G-tube surgery. Riley was still able to stand up in a stander, but Harrison was too floppy for that to be a realistic expectation. By 4 years, they were both pretty much the same. Although they can eat a little bit by mouth, they are mostly fed through their G-tube. This is how we have to travel now because they choke and someone needs to be in the back to suction them and to save their lives. But they are both such happy kids, and we try to make every day of their life a good day and make sure that they're always smiling. We can't bring the kids to the world, so we decided to bring the world to the kids and try to make sure that they experience everything they can. Our lives are definitely different from most people's. We have a lot on our plate, a lot to deal with, a lot of sad days, but we try to make sure that our kids see and do as much as possible because we don't know how much time we have left with them, so every day is precious. INAD stands for infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy. It's basically Alzheimer's and Parkinson's for children. They have muscle spasms and nerve pain, and they can go blind and deaf and have seizures. Luckily, my children are not blind or deaf, nor do they have seizures right now. But it is terminal, and life expectancy is 8 to 12 years of age. But we're not letting that get in our way because we are just going to make the most of every day we have with them. If you want to know more about it, click the follow button and follow along with us. I'll try to post regularly about our journey.